Welcome to the 42nd Annual Woodbridge Township Holiday Parade. With me and who will be announced in the announcing booth are Craig Coughlin.
John, thanks. Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to be back again this year. It's a gorgeous day. A little cold, a little windy, but the spirits are high, and I'm looking forward to a great parade.
And also in the booth, Mike Forbes.
Thank you, John. And what Craig just mentioned, despite the cold weather, and it indeed is cold, probably the coldest day of the year so far, however, the enthusiasm is not frozen, because you see plenty of people already lined up. They're bundled up, but they're lined up and ready for a great parade.
And we're looking forward to, again, a largest parade ever.
Welcome back, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. There's our first unit coming down the street, the Woodbridge finest. A couple of police cars, followed by our first dignitary, and that would be Mayor Pelsman. Mayor Frank Pelsman, appointed in January to take the spot of Jim McGreevy when he left to become our governor, and then elected this past November to fill the unexpired term.
And Craig, as we mentioned before, I mean, despite the weather, plenty of enthusiasm, everybody bundled up. Our Grand Marshal, of course, Father Robert Councilman. Rector of Trinity Episcopal Church in Woodbridge since 1981. Father Councilman was born in Ottawa, Kansas. He grew up in Kansas, California, and New Mexico. After completing high school in Albuquerque, New Mexico, he entered the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque with a major in applied music. Completed his degree work there and received a Bachelor of Music.
We see our Assembly delegation from the 19th Legislative District, Arlene Frisha and John Wisniewski. Father Councilman then went on, became ordained as a deacon at St. John's Cathedral in Albuquerque and began his work as a curator at Christ Church in Middletown, New Jersey. In February of 1997, he was ordained as a priest at Christ Church and served at the parish as an assistant until 1980 when he became the priest in charge. In the fall of 1980, Father Councilman accepted the position as rector of Trinity Church, and he began his work in Woodbridge in January of 1981. As our freeholder, Stephen Pete Delina.
Stephen Pete Delina, of course.
Joined in the car by Donna Jago.
Local man. Freeholder Delina from Ford's. Our council president, Brenda Yuri Velasco.
Some excited children, and there is Councilman at Large Jim Carroll.
Speaking of Ford's, Jim, of course, a Ford's resident.
Exactly. Jim has the proud distinction of being the Grand Marshal for this year's St. Patrick's Day Parade. I know Jim was thrilled to be named the Grand Marshal, and looking forward to that. Ford's out in force today. Here's Councilman Rick Delina driving his fancy car along with his daughter.
Rick fits in that car very well, don't you think?
He does.
He looks very comfortable behind the wheel there. 5th Ward, Councilman Robert Luban. 5th Ward, of course, in Colonia. Well, thanks to Councilman Luban for joining us today.
Bob in good spirits. Doesn't look too cold.
I think he's hiding it well.
And there we are, a couple of past Grand Marshals. On the left is Reverend Jack Dunlap from the First Presbyterian Church in Avenel. And to his right, newly elected the 3rd Ward Councilman Vincent Martino. Vinny, as he's commonly known, is the former Grand Marshal of this parade.
And of course a former councilman here in Woodbridge for many, many years.
And freeholder, for that matter. Behind our dignitaries is the combined Woodbridge Township High School bands. It's a combination of the marching bands and color guards from Woodbridge High School, Colonia High School, and John F. Kennedy.
Got approximately 200 people in that group there, Craig, and it certainly looks it. Band directors Jeffrey Nordahl, Ken Hunt, and Nancy Gross. Assistant directors Bob Blick and Scott Uribe. Color guard directors Lisa Ercolino, Brenda Barth, and Janet Engel. And the 3 bands first combined, for your information, for the inaugural parade of Governor James E. McGreevy, former mayor, in January of 2002.
Let's listen.
something great, the sounds of the holiday season.
Nothing better at a parade than the marching bands. Nothing says parade like a marching band.
Well, I think when you think parade, you think marching. And like you said, the sounds and the sights are certainly synonymous.
They are followed by the Colonia High School cheerleaders. There's approximately 20 of them here with us today.
They're under the direction, Craig, of Andrea Simkovich, head coach, along with Nicole Siasco, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Erin McMine, Jessica Rizzolo, and Stephanie Rizzolo as the captains. Colonia High School cheerleaders.
Looks like we have some Woodbridge High School cheerleaders in that group, too. I noticed the black and the red, so maybe there was a combining of the cheerleading squads as well for today's event.
Our first float of the afternoon, the Buddy Ball float here in Woodbridge Township. Buddy Ball, a tremendous program, started back in 1995 with a simple soccer game played at Warren Park. Kevin Fee and John Eberhardt decided to build a year-round program of sports for these physically and mentally challenged youngsters, and what a program it is. Year-round activity for these kids.
This float is sponsored by Washington Mutual, and it has many members of the Buddy Ball team, the executive director, the president, Kevin Fee, I see. Our own John Eberhardt, who's out on the street, we met him earlier, he'll be interviewing people. John, this is something that's very near and dear to his heart. Buddy Ball is one of the things we truly do and can be proud of, truly do well and can be proud of here in Woodbridge.
Well, of course, we have the Woodbridge Township DARE unit. Our DARE unit, Drug Abuse Resistance Education, under the direction of Detective Sue McNamara, Officer Tom Peterson, a.k.a. Darren the Lion, Officer Dominic Rossetti, Detective Timothy Majek, organized back in 1990.
Here's the youngsters from Ross School number 11, Ross Street School. You know, this year, Michael, we have 10 floats in the parade. 7 of them are produced by the Bond floats in Clifton, New Jersey, who've also done floats for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and for ticker tape parades in New York City. And as always, we want to thank the sponsors for our floats. They include the Hatco Corporation of Fords, First Savings Bank of Woodbridge, Ford's Jewelers in Fords, Willents, Goldman and Spitzer in Woodbridge, as we mentioned before, Washington Mutual in Avenel, along with the Rio Diner in Woodbridge.
And let's not forget Royal Albert Palace in Fords, Neves Jewelers right here on Main Street, Woodbridge, Carpet Maven here at Woodbridge, the Club at Woodbridge, the Woodbridge Metro Chamber of Commerce, and Sansone's Route 1 Auto Mall, again in Woodbridge. And that's a 1.7 mile, just for information, if you're keeping stats, 1.7 miles long. Our parade kicked off, of course, at Woodbridge High School and will end at the Municipal Building at 1 Main Street.
Next is the Mothers Against Drug Driving Cars of Middlesex and Union Counties. MAD was formed in 1984 and organized by Anne Marie and Joe Contrico of Colonia, sadly after their son was killed by a drunk driver. Now the Friendly Sons of the Shillelagh Pipe and Drum Corps, based in Old Bridge, formed in 1967.
Craig, plenty of honors bestowed upon the Drum Corps Best Pipe Band Award, 2002 Dublin St. Patrick's Day Parade, Best International Pipe Drum, again 2002 Limerick, Ireland St. Patrick's Day Parade, and the Best Pipe Band of 2001, the Belmar Street St. Patrick's Day Parade. So our congratulations to them.
Following the Sons of Shillelagh are the Woodbridge American Irish Association, a group established on the 4th of July, 1966. The president this year is Mark Lewis, Joe Ward, their vice president, Diane McGovern, the recording secretary, John Reitman, the corresponding secretary, Elliot Jascott, financial secretary, Tom Henderson, treasurer, and Bill Donovan, the sergeant at arms. American Irish of Woodbridge sponsors the annual St. Patrick's Day parade here in Woodbridge, and they do a fine job. So it's good to see them all out celebrating their heritage and enjoying the parade.
And there's a parade that's only about 4 months away, by the way.
That's right.
Representatives of the St. James Wildcats today.
Represent St. James School here in Woodbridge. Happy faces. They include groups from the basketball and cheerleading programs, and Holly Palugla is their athletic director.
And I want to mention that the JV and varsity cheerleaders recently took second place in a state competition. So our congratulations to them. And it's that kind of day, but these kids don't seem to feel the cold.
Look at those happy faces. There they go. The movement will keep them warm. You know, Mike, I wanted to mention is Channel 35 here in Woodbridge does an outstanding job of bringing shows of local interest. And one of the things we're proudest of is the Peekaboo Turtle Show, which runs Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. It's a show produced entirely by WTT 35 and includes songs and dance, crafts and rhymes. And I'd like to remind everybody to tune in and watch. I think we missed the Cub Scout Pack 41. Sorry about that. I see them having gone past us. Pack 41 won first place in the Woodbridge Township Holiday Parade in 1999 and 2000, and second place in 2001. We don't want to miss those kind of trendsetters. They participate in various community service activities, including scouting for food.
Looks like Caseby Fire Company number 1, Protection Fire Company number 1. Fire company established way back in 1908. They represent Fire District 4, Woodbridge Township. People do such a tremendous job and often unappreciated. We don't appreciate how important they are, unfortunately, until we need them. But on a day like today, we certainly like to extend our thanks. 10 people marching in the department parade today under the direction of the Chief, John Manna.
We are very fortunate in Woodbridge to have certainly outstanding paid emergency service folks, emergency fire departments, but we're also very, very fortunate to have the outstanding number of volunteers that we have. But if we can just take a plug right now, I think every volunteer organization, fire, first aid, will tell you that they could desperately use membership. So if anyone is out there and wants to give something back to the community, it'd be a fine way of doing it.
Yeah, it's terribly tough to recruit and keep volunteers for whatever reason this day and age. I guess two-income families being one of the reasons, but as Craig says, if anyone feels that tug of community service and wants to join any of our volunteer organizations, it would be so appreciated. That's a nice sight.
Some of the fine Woodbridge folks enjoying the parade up and down the streets. Hello.
This, of course, is probably the event that really launches the holiday season here in Woodbridge Township, and the holiday season always a busy one. We have our menorah lighting, for example, on the steps of Town Hall. We have our Pictures with Santa at Parker Press, the holiday train display all through December at the Barron Arts Center, the snow sculpture contest, home and merchant decorating contest, all just a few of the many holiday activities to keep the holiday spirit alive here in Woodbridge Township.
And also just had passed us by was the Woodbridge Hazmat Unit. They're there when we need them, often critical and dangerous situations. Thanks for coming and thanks for being there. Following them are the Blue Knights of New Jersey Motorcycle Club. Charles Mose, the president, Robert Wall, the vice president, and George Curie, the past president. Established in 1974, they're a law enforcement motorcycle club. They've won numerous trophies and plaques from Blue Night events and numerous awards from raising money for children with cancer, Save the Children, Special Olympics, and many other groups. So they do a lot of good work. We're fortunate to have them here.
No doubt. And what is a parade without the cast of costumed characters to add some color and excitement and humor?
It's some great alliteration there, Michael.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. And there's, as we said, the Woodbridge Township Hazmat Unit, followed
just
by
such a
American Legion
fantastic
Post
job.
87. They do. They really do.
Well, Craig, you mentioned the American Legion Post, formed back in 1922. They represent, of course, our veterans, the people who have made such a contribution in the name of freedom over the past century here in our country, past over a century. 30 in the group today under the direction of group leader Dennis Byrne.
Many of the members, proud, brave men who served us well. It's nice to see men and women who served us well. It is nice to see veterans get the respect and recognition that they so deserve.
No doubt.
For many of us who have never been called on to serve, I'm not sure if we can truly appreciate their courage, but we can certainly recognize them.
And there we have our Woodbridge Township Chamber of Commerce float. Of course, Carol Hyla, President. Citizen of the Year this year, Jay Zisneski of Willans, Goldman, and Spitzer.
There's Jay.
Corporate Citizen of the Year,
Waving.
Verizon Communications.
With his earmuffs on. I don't know, he was a tight end at Notre Dame. You think he wore those earmuffs then?
Possibly. Member of the Year, Donna Selman of the Raritan Bay Medical Center. Irene Conti, winner of the William E. Short Award. Peter Malata, Small Business of the Year. And State Trooper Joseph DiMarino of the 9/11 Recognition Award. Congratulations.
The float was sponsored by the club at Woodbridge, Carpet Mavens, Nevis Jewelers, and the Woodbridge Chamber of Commerce. Another band. Our friends from Perth Amboy at the William McGinnis Middle School. Welcome them to Woodbridge. They're there every year and they make some fine music.
Under the direction of band director Carl Brodbeck, Linda Cohn, the assistant marching band director. They were together back in 1975. It's the 21st year of attendance for them in the Woodbridge Township Holiday Parade, and we thank them.
Here's the present that keeps on giving. The Girl Scout Troop of number 487, established in 1998. Their leaders are Lisa Gala and Nancy Yeager. I'd like to take this opportunity to say Happy Hanukkah to our friends in the Jewish community of Woodbridge Township. Today is the second day, I believe, and this is a very special time in our town. And people of all faiths come together to celebrate.
No doubt, and it's a township, of course, of many faiths, many ethnic groups, and this time of year, everyone comes together to in unity to celebrate as one, and it's wonderful. And in just a couple of minutes, we're going to hear from our leader, Mayor Frank G. Pelsman.
Coming into view now is the Hope Lawn Engine Company number 1, established in 1914. William Hegedus is the fire chief, and Bruce Turcott is the president. They cover the Hope Lawn section, which is Fire District 8.
All right, without further ado, we're going to send it out to the middle of John Eberhard with Mayor Frank G. Pelsman. John?
Thank you, Mike. With me is Mayor Frank Pelsman. Mayor, we just started off a little cool out here today, but so far so good.
Yeah, it's a little cold, a little windy. We've got a pretty good crowd. I want to thank the people that did come out. Absolutely fantastic that they took some time to come out on this cold day. We got a lot of contingents. It's going to be a long parade. We're waiting for Santa Claus. That's one of our trusty fire companies. Hang on.
And there's the Hope Lawn Engine Company First Aid Squad. Squad established 1951. They work in coordination with the Hope Lawn Fire Department and do a fine job for the people of the Hope Lawn section. Paul Condor is the captain.
Alrighty, now that the noises.
There, but we're back again live.
There we are.
Yeah, a little Hope Lawn Fire Department. Want to let everybody know they were here, but no, it's really nice. Even though the fact that it is cold, it's nice to have everybody come out, start the holiday season. After this, we have a Hanukkah lighting tomorrow. We have some other events, so just hope everybody looks at the paper, follows the events, and come on out and enjoy everything.
Thank you, Mayor. Do you want to step inside and hopefully get a little warm?
We're going to go get a hot cup of coffee. We're going to go down there to the reviewing stand, and we'll be fine. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah to everybody. Have a good holiday, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you,
John.
Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Car enthusiasts. It's a car enthusiast dream, especially those who have a fondness for the classic Corvette. This is the Woodbridge Corvette Club, established back in 1978. Steve Miller's the president. Rita Goldstein is the club secretary. There's some nice machines.
And they're there every year for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, for the holiday parade. And it's great to see them back again. Throwing a little candy off to the kids lining the way.
The Corvette, by the way, for those of you who were around in 1953, that was the year the Corvette was introduced. In 2003, the year coming up, of course, will be the 50th anniversary of the original Corvette, still in production today, one of the most recognized nameplates in automotive history throughout the world. Corvette Club members own cars ranging from the early 50s models to today's present-day Corvette. Did you ever have a yearning to own a Corvette, Craig?
No.
Me either, but I do appreciate them.
No, they're great
They
cars.
are great. They're gorgeous.
I never thought I could afford one.
Well, that's
you
the
just
thing.
sort of put it out of your mind.
Never really had the disposable income to.
Exactly, but they're beautiful cars, and back in my younger days, it would have been. Maybe I'll wait and have a second youth.
Think that'll happen?
I hope. The yellow car, sort of yellow taxi cab cars are the hot new color. They're well represented here today. It's got to be a little frustrating for people in a Corvette to be going so slowly.
Yeah, I'm sure they're dying to open it up and then get on the Turnpike and Parkway, and maybe that's.
The Port Reading
that'll happen.
Saints Football Association. Established 1976, the year I graduated high school, Michael. Brian Bukowski is the president, Jody O'Connor, the cheerleading commissioner.
And this group won a couple of awards in the past, took first place, the Central Jersey Pee Wee Division, and first place in the Central Jersey Midget Division. So our congratulations to the Port Reading Saints cheerleaders.
They are followed by 4+2. Sal Verga is the band leader, and they're on a flatbed truck provided by Michael's Towing. Thank you, Michael.
Craig, the first Congregational Church in Woodbridge was established way back 1874 under the direction of Reverend L.L. I'm going to say Dubril, pastor. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The first Congregational Church, one of the oldest continuing congregations in Woodbridge Township. Active members of the Woodbridge Township Interfaith Hospitality Network, Woodbridge Township Women of Faith, and the We Feed Pantry Network.
They also hold a congregational coffee house every month on the second Saturday. Invite everybody over. Features professional musicians from all over the United States performing music for all generations and an interfaith audience. It's growing, and the music keeps the community singing.
And we welcome the folks from First Savings Bank on our third float of the afternoon. This float sponsored, of course, by First Savings Bank. Employees from the bank Riding on the float today, the First Savings Bank has its headquarters and 4 banking offices right here in Woodbridge, one of the township's most generous corporate citizens. And we thank them for their participation and their sponsorship in the holiday parade. Happy holidays to everyone at First Savings Bank. We look forward to your continued participation in the Woodbridge Township Holiday Parade. Our thanks to them.
We can hear the sounds in the background of the pipe and drums of the Jersey Shore Shillelaghs. And there are 35 members based in Belmont.
Holidays to Cub Scout Pack 143 under the direction of Cub Master Mary Kudluskas, representing the Boy Scouts of America, of course, about 40 people in the group today. Sponsored by the fine people at the Woodbridge Elks Lodge 2116. Cub Scout uniform represents unity, while each individually symbolize their achieved rank and the goals they have met.
Mike, in addition to the parade, WTT 35 produces some outstanding shows, one of which I'm particularly fond of, and that's my show about the town. It airs on Friday nights at 7 o'clock and brings interesting people and newsmakers from throughout the community to local access.
You know, I've caught that show once in a while, Craig, and it's one of my favorites, too, as a matter of fact.
I've gotten the fan letters, Mike. Thank you. Here comes the Ford's Fire Community Truck, but first I think we're going to meet some members of the combined band from Woodbridge Township. And let our cohort, John Eberhardt, introduce you to those nice people. John?
Craig, thank you. With me again, as you had mentioned, the combined band. We have Amanda Dowdy and Chris Jago. Chris, how did the band sound for being together for the first time? Is this the first parade you're together with?
I believe so, yes.
And you sounded pretty good to me.
Yes.
And Amanda, you guys really sounded great. You enjoying the parade today?
Yes, this was a wonderful experience for both Kennedy, Woodbridge, and Colonia.
So you think it's cold enough for you here today?
Yes.
Chris, cold enough for you?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. We'll let you guys get inside and warm up. Thank you again.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
You mentioned Ford's Fire Company number 1, put together in 1911, representing District number 7 under the direction of Chief Jerome Prybeck and President Brian Henry. The commissioners, Dennis Henry, William Kazowick, George Brew, Ralph Cavallo, and Richard Pinter. Our congratulations and our thanks to all of them for the fine job they do all year round.
Those young people looked cold out there, Michael, didn't they?
I don't remember being cold when I was that young. The cold started to settle in years later and hasn't left yet.
Next up is the St. John's First Aid Squad. They're also from Ford's. They cover Ford's and Caseby. Tom Nevis is the captain. Chuck Lopez, the president. Just recently, the St. John's First Aid was proud to deliver a healthy baby girl to a resident of Ford's. The father of the baby girl is a squad member.
Yeah.
So I guess that was a special treat. They were established back in May of 1943.
Keeping it in the family, literally, right?
Yes. And hopefully someday she'll be a volunteer,
Wouldn't that be nice?
like her dad. Do a fine job.
Such a dedicated group of people, always ready to respond whenever duty calls.
I believe we are fortunate enough now to have with us the Grand Marshal
Reverend Councilman.
of today's parade, and that's Reverend Councilman. So John, is Reverend Councilman with you?
Yes, he is, Craig, and we're out here in lovely weather. Reverend Councilman, thank you for putting this weather on order for us.
Oh, thank you. It's my delight to provide you with nice, cold, crisp weather for the parade today.
So how do you like our parade so far?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's always a great occasion out here, and you know, it's of course particularly nice for me this year, and I'm thoroughly enjoying every minute of it. So.
And we're honored to have you as our Grand Marshal.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll let you get warmed up.
Thank you much.
Unfortunately, I have to stay out here in the cold.
Our Grand Marshal, Father Councilman, he resides here in Woodbridge with Sharon and son David, his wife Sharon, son David, and older son Don, by the way, completing his training in the police academy in Texas, and he'll serve as a police officer down there in the Lone Star State.
See some more of the St. John's First Aid Service. Next, we're fortunate to have with us Woodbridge VFW Post 4410. It was mustered on September 9th in 1945, just after the war. Their combined Post and Ladies Auxiliary Color Guard. They represent volunteers of foreign wars of the United States who've served in a hostile war zone outside of the continental U.S.
Their Color Guard Captain Charles Nader, Commander Bill Donahue, Senior Vice President Gil Heido, Steve Razik is the Junior Vice President Lori Donahue, President of the Ladies Auxiliary. And the Post received, by the way, a first place award for Color Guard in the Perth Amboy Memorial Day Parade. And we thank them for joining us today. Delaware Raritan Girl Scouts, Colonia Island Service Unit. Happy to have them today. The Colonia Island Service, established around the late 70s, belonged to the Delaware Raritan Council, and that serves nearly 13,000 girls in all of Middlesex and Mercer counties. The Colonia Island Group serves approximately 485 girls from all ethnic backgrounds under the direction of Millie Hernandez, the Service Unit Director.
The service unit is involved in several community services projects, including both the Adopt a Park and the Adopt a Book program for libraries in their communities. And they received an award for running a community service block. There is a number of troops represented in the group: Brownie Troop 151, Brownie Troop 840, Brownie Troop 998, Brownie Junior Troop 1076, Junior Troop 1079, Junior Troop 1080.
And we have Brownie Troop 1252, Brownie Troop 1311, Troop 1312, Junior Troop 1317, Junior Troop 1383, Brownie Troop 1409, Junior Troop 1478, and Brownie Troops 1733, 1745, 2036, and 2044. Adorable. Thank you for being with us, folks.
Partridge in a pear tree.
Uh-huh.
There we go. There's a smart Brownie leader.
That's it. You're well equipped.
There's Troop 1409 from Colonia.
Today's parade, of course, being seen on Woodbridge Township Television, channels 35 and 36. Our thanks to Lee Beckerman, Gina Forbes, Emil Brandafi, Aaron Zerpolo, Joe Fernandez, Joe Masberry, Bruno Martins, Roman Corbin, Joanne Bulla, and Tony Allen.
Midstreams and District Pipe Band formed in October of 2001, a bagpipe group. Laura Neville is the pipe major.
There's another band, Craig, that's won a number of awards. That took first place at the Trenton St. Patrick's Day Parade, third place in the Ocean Township Memorial Day Parade, and first place finishes in the second and third during their competition seasons. Congratulations.
We also saw, for popping in and out, some of the flavor of the parade and the costume characters.
Yes.
A familiar-looking mouse and his girlfriend. This is the Saturn Club of Woodbridge, a relatively new experience because the car, which all of us, I think, love. It's a great-looking car and a welcome addition to our parade and our community. I'm sorry, the PT Cruiser Club. PT Cruiser Club. Formed rapidly after the car went into production just a few years ago. PT Cruiser Club.
And as the cruisers go by, we're going to hear from councilpersons Brenda Uri Velasco, Bob Luban, and Jim Carroll. So without further ado, John Eberhard, if you're ready.
Thank you, Mike. With me, as Mike had mentioned, is Councilman Bob Luban, Council President Brenda Velasco, and Councilman Jim Carroll. Councilman Luban, how do you like the parade so far?
It's great. This year it's kind of brisk outside, but I'm thoroughly enjoying myself, John. I really am. And I noticed we have the same cars as last year when I was interviewing by you.
Exactly.
Everybody have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas. And you should be here. It's great.
And we will also have the combination Woodbridge, Colonia, and JFK band, which was unique this year. They did a great job, had a great sound, and hopefully our St. Patrick's Day will be a little bit warmer, Mr. Carroll, because we usually have a very warm holiday parade.
That's right.
This is payback
This is
time
your
right
fault.
now.
This is your fault as usual.
I hope you promise us warm days for St. Patrick's.
Notice he's wearing his Christmas tie.
That's right. My Santa Claus tie. My Santa Claus tie. Yeah, I want to wish everybody a very, very happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. It's a great day here for Woodbridge. It's always a great day. Great turnout. It's just terrific. And Brenda, I can't promise you better weather on St. Patrick's Day, but I know I'll be here and I'll be smiling.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Back to Craig and Mike.
The demands of being the Grand Marshal.
There you go.
Already we want commitments on the weather.
People expect you to be a miracle worker, right? Warm weather and a good parade.
Traditionally, or at least over the past several years, the weather's been much warmer at the Christmas or holiday parade than at the St. Patrick's Day. So I'm not sure what that bodes for the future.
Well, there's a guy who doesn't do too well in warm weather. Frosty is gratified it's nice and cold, so there's a melt all over Main Street.
It's an interesting color.
Woodbridge High School homecoming queen and court. 2002 homecoming queen, Fiona Palmer. Fiona, Woodbridge High School sports enthusiast, participates in both varsity basketball and track. In the fall, she plans to attend Morgan State University and study business management. So best of luck to Fiona.
Her court includes Gina Ball. Gina is an active member of the Woodbridge High School Honor Society, Student Advisory Board. She plays varsity softball as well and is a steady honors roll student. She plans to attend college at the University of Delaware and major in computer science or mathematics.
And Tammy Mealy, Tammy senior class vice president, plays both varsity soccer and varsity softball. In the fall, Tammy hopes to attend Seton Hall University and major in business or pre-law.
Also in the court is Rachel Ortiz, who's currently involved in Woodbridge High School's concert and show chorus. She's also a member of the National Honor Society. And next year she plans to attend the college with a double major in law and language.
And of course, Kara Williamson. Kara, a varsity cheerleader, captain of Woodbridge High School's dance team, and a member of the National Honor Society. Kara plans to go to college to pursue a major in communications and a minor in dance. And we want to mention the float, proudly sponsored by the Rio Diner. Of course, meet me at the Rio. We've been saying that in Woodbridge for years and years and years. Also, Royal Albert's Palace, another proud sponsor.
Maybe Kara will be doing a parade with us someday, Michael.
Could be, could be.
Next up is the exciting new Millennium Drill Team under the direction of Kathy Jones. Approximately 40 members. They were in first place in the holiday parade last year and first place in the Hopewell Memorial Day Parade in 2002, as well as first place as a unique step drill competition in the Somerville Parade in this year, and third place in the Elks World Drill Competition in Louisville, Kentucky.
And the Trinity Episcopal Church, we mentioned before, under the direction of our Grand Marshal Father Robert Councilman, the priest and rector over there, the Trinity Church, one of the oldest churches in New Jersey. The first angelic service is held in 1698. Can you imagine? In a non-denominational town meeting house. first independent building built in 1703, although services were usually held in the Dunham House, which is now the rectory. Then by 1756, a large church was built. It burned down in 1858, a new one built in 1861, and of course, it still stands today proudly. 304 years later, Trinity Church serves the community as well as the parish. They sponsor 12-step programs, a food pantry, soup kitchen for the community. Trinity enjoys a tightly knit family parish dedicated to serving God and carrying out its mission, and we welcome them.
And they are followed by the Woodbridge Township Youth Soccer Association, one of the most vibrant recreational groups in our community. Soccer group will include close to 100 people. Rich Bianchi's the president. Jack Kasikalek, I guess, I apologize for mispronouncing, is the executive vice president. It's fun to see those little ones out there playing soccer every Saturday. It's really a nice thing to do. I know my son plays, and it's beautiful with the trees and the colors and the kids running around, and it really is a nice communal setting.
It's very enjoyable too, and it's a nice, good fall sport, and like you said, just a lot of fun. It's so tremendously popular, and particularly here in Woodbridge.
And I believe we have spring soccer as well.
Yes.
There's the Giants, the under-10 champs in the fall of 2001. Good job. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Make us all proud. There we go, a happy fella. And a shy dad. Please look at the camera. There we go. All right,
yeah,
buddy.
right on cue. Right on
Happy
cue.
holidays.
Bringing up the rear, Craig, the Avenel Fire Company. This is Fire Company number 1. This company established back in 1913. They proudly represent District 5 here in Woodbridge Township. About 30 people in the parade, including the Avenel Ladies Auxiliary, the chief, Mr. John Letzo, President Dean Manenti, and another group of people who underappreciated but do such a wonderful job and never appreciated enough, as I mentioned, unfortunately, until we need them.
Exactly. One of those things we just take for granted that they'll be there, and we're very fortunate that they always answer the bell.
And it's appropriate to mention now, too, Craig, the theme of this year's parade is a holiday for giving thanks. Kind of apropos in the sense that Thanksgiving and our holiday parade almost melded into one event, Thanksgiving, of course, being just 3 days ago. A holiday for giving thanks, and we certainly we're giving thanks this weekend due to it being Thanksgiving weekend. We're giving thanks to our volunteer organizations and just giving thanks for everything that's good in our lives this holiday season.
And we're going to throw it now to our colleague, John Eberhard, who is with a member of the Youth Advisory Committee. John?
Thank you, Craig. And yes, with me are 3 members of the Youth Advisory Committee, and also elves. They are freezing, so we're going to try to make this as brief as possible. They can introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about themselves, and maybe a little bit about the Advisory Committee.
Hi, I'm Lauren Dale. I'm a senior at Colonia High, and we came out here today in the freezing cold just to represent ourselves. And it was a nice parade. Everyone's having fun. A little chilly, but...
Little chilly.
Little chilly.
Hi, my name's Mariah Herb. I'm also a senior at Colonia High School. I'm enjoying the parade even though it's really cold out, and just hoping to see Santa Claus really soon.
My name is Lauren Smith, and I'm a senior at Colonia High School also, and I'm having lots of fun at the parade today, and I can't wait to see Santa.
And once again, this organization, they're great. They help out. We just had summer movies in the park.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a big hit, selling popcorn. So thanks, girls, and go ahead, go get warm now.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's great at that age to still believe in Santa Claus. How
That's
about
right.
that?
Some of the young people can be very proud of it, and they're all ready for the St. Patrick's Day parade, so we look forward to seeing them there.
Proud members of the Avenel Colonia First Aid Squad, put together back in November of 1945 for many, many years, proudly serving well the people of Avenel Colonia area and, of course, all of Woodbridge Township.
And here's a couple more of our costume characters who are gracing the parade. It's fun to see the look on little children's faces as they sneak in for a hug from a furry friend.
Now, if you were out there, you'd be certainly hugging them. I know I would, wouldn't you, Frank?
Here's Fred Lahatte's Ragtimers. They're comprised of a banjo, a guitar, a bass, and an alto sax.
This group organized back in 1968. They played in the Woodbridge Christmas Parade for the past 12 years, since 1991. This year they performed at over 100 concerts and 18 parades.
All over the state. They bring a refreshing sound of nostalgia to their audiences, both in concerts and parades, and they're keeping alive the sound of the roaring 20s for the next generation.
Where's Sponge Guy, man?
And may I add, smart enough to be protected by a plastic covering in their little vehicle there. Not only talented, but resourceful as well.
And probably got a heater in there.
Welcome to Scarlett's First Position School of Dance, a dance company and twirling corps, about 45 in the group, under the direction of dance company leader Emily O'Connell, twirling corps leader Colleen O'Connell. Did I say O'Donnell? Emily O'Connell. I'm sorry, Emily O'Connell and Colleen O'Connell. The dance company are a competitive performing group that has received numerous awards for excellence in their performances at regional and national competitions.
Students are selected by invitation, and each member of the company is dedicated to studying all areas of dance. They perform at competitive events throughout New Jersey and participate in workshops, learning from world-renowned dancers and choreographers. Welcome, Scarlett.
Seems that SpongeBob SquarePants has
left his pineapple.
Yes, emerged from the ocean floor to join us today.
We are fortunate to have him. There we go. Here's a popular guy. I like the show.
I'm just surprised he adapts to oxygen. I always thought that sponges needed water to survive, but I suppose do anything for a hug.
Next up is the Woodbridge Lions Club, a group organized way back in 1947. Approximately 10 members today with us today. Frank Mulligan is the president, and Gil Kutcher is the secretary. The Lions Club is known for their work with the blind and sight handicapped. The Woodbridge Lions have made a commitment to provide any needy child in our school system with an eye exam and glasses at no charge to the family. The Lions work closely with school nurses to identify those children and have an active program for using old eyeglasses to help to develop in developing nations around the world. Thank you for their hard work.
Over 1,000 pair of glasses they've received last year, and have need for as many as possible.
In another group of service organizations like the Elks, the Lions, who do fine work for the community, can always use some volunteers. So again, I'd urge everybody to get involved.
Elmo trekking down from Sesame Street to join us here on Main Street today.
And then the Woodbridge Fire Department is here. Department formed in 1897. And they represent the Woodbridge and Seawarren areas. Ray Delleman is the fire chief, and he leads them today. You know, one of the other things that Woodbridge Township Television is involved in is Access New Jersey. And they run a show weekly on Friday nights at 8 p.m., and I'd order everybody to watch it. Access New Jersey is a regional magazine show produced by local access stations throughout the state. So if you want to see what your friends and cohort, our friends in places like East Brunswick and Piscataway and throughout the state of New Jersey are doing with their local access channels. And you know, we can be very proud here at Woodbridge Township Television. We've won a number of awards with Lee and Gina and the staff, Joe and Emil. They do a terrific job at producing the shows that are available to everybody on channels 35 and 36. We're very fortunate. I urge everybody to tune in and watch. I guess we want to extend our thanks for Senator Joe Vitale for letting us use his office today to broadcast from. Joe is Senator for I guess, probably 5 or 6 years now, and we're thankful for him letting us use his window here on Main Street.
Absolutely. Our state senator from District 19. So, as you mentioned, Craig, we do thank Senator Vitale very much for his hospitality, the hospitality of his staff also. The Woodbridge Township Ambulance and Rescue Squad, you see there, established back in 1937. And, again, not to belabor the point, but what can you say about the volunteers, the dedicated volunteers who run our ambulance and rescue squads?
Some more of our outstanding fire equipment.
Nice looking machines, kept immaculate.
Here comes St. Cecilia's Cub Scout troop. Nice timing on opening it up. Pack 49 in Island. Sponsored by the St. Cecilia's Knights of Columbus.
And Butch Thorson, the Cub Master there, the Pack 49 earned, by the way, the Quality Unit Award for this year. So our congratulations to Cub Scout Pack 49 in Island.
Some of the happy faces gracing this year's parade.
Well, this is quite a nice experience for particularly the kids. This is something they'll remember always, if assuming there'll be in other parades in their lives. But to be the center of attention and everybody watching and waving and applauding, it means a lot to a young person, and this is something they'll remember always. Cub Scout Pack 53, sponsored by Our Lady of Peace Church in Fords.
That's one near and dear to my heart.
There you go, Craig. Pack established in 1952, 25 in the group today, under the direction of Cub Master James Leonardo.
I know my boys have all participated in it. They're a great troop. They do a great job. Rich Curbis, Joe Baker, Wanda Russo.
And they're followed by the Neptune High School Scarlet Flyer Marching Band. And we welcome the folks from Neptune here today. Band Director Ray Kelly, Color Guard Director Kim O'Connor, Senior Drum Major Annette Lewis, Junior Drum Major Melissa Goodsmore, Flute Section Leader Lorraine Jansen, Clarinet Section Leader Jennifer Jones.
Just let me add that Cub Scout Pack 53 is celebrating its 50th year. They have an annual Thanksgiving food drive and completed a recycling fundraiser to raise money for holiday gifts for children in hospitals. Scarlet Flyers. Here we go.
And lovers of nostalgia and cars and nostalgic cars. Excited to see a 1929 Model A, driven by Arthur Nelson, a roadster pickup truck.
It looks in tremendous condition.
It really does.
Look at how it shines. My car doesn't shine like that. Neither does yours, Mike.
You're right about that,
not
Craig.
mistaken.
You've been looking at my car lately?
Here comes the Colonia High School homecoming queen in her court. 2002 homecoming queen is Maria Belmonte. Maria is the president of the National Honor Society, secretary of the Student Council, and co-anchor of Patriot TV.
Another future host of the parade, possibly. In her court, Nicole Ciasco. Nicole, a senior class president and varsity cheerleader captain.
Stephanie Rizalo, who is the varsity cheerleading captain and a member of the National Honor Society.
Michelle Vitale, member of the National Honor Society and varsity and competition cheerleader.
And Rebecca Waldron, the captain of the varsity soccer team and the varsity basketball team.
And this float proudly sponsored by the good people at Hatco Corporation in Fords, New Jersey, right here in Woodbridge.
There they are, beautiful young ladies. Big smile for the camera. Now comes some pure energy. Performing team at Woodbridge School of Dance.
together back in 1978. Jacqueline O'Shaughnessy, the director. 50 people joining us today from the Woodbridge School of Dance Studio, celebrating its 25th year, a quarter century in existence. Started in a small storefront on Main Street. It's now grown into a 4-dance room facility. Offers dance for children ages 2.5 to adult.
There they go, showing some of that energy.
Right on cue.
Whoa! There we go. Nice flip. I'll bet their show is fun to watch.
It's great to see the young dancers performing in unison, and when they get the routine down, you're right, there's nothing like it. They do a great job.
They perform every year at the St. James Street Fair.
Whoa, look out. How long's it been since you did one of those, Craig?
It was before Thanksgiving. As a parent, I hold my breath.
There you go.
Go, big wave for the crowd.
And the dance crew, followed by the Girl Scouts of Delaware Raritan Crosstown Service Unit under the direction of Service Unit Director Judy Latornes.
They cover Avenel, Port Reading, Woodbridge, and Seawarren, and include Junior Troop 1776, Daisy Troop 323, Brownie Troop 1006, Brownie Troop 703, 701, 1466, 2076, and 1210.
Also Brownie Troop 414, Junior Troop 1579, Junior Troop 1469, Junior Troop 727, and Junior Troop 1549.
They really look great today. Look at those cute costumes. It's a lot of work for the Scout leaders who are...
Well, I think those nasal protection devices are ingenious when you're looking at a wind chill of about 10.
Here's Troop 703. All dressed up like Christmas trees. And while we look at those cute faces, I'd like to take the chance to thank the Carteret Emergency Management Group under the direction of John Wyatt today. They're helping us provide communications so that we can work as flawlessly as we have so far.
And we can't mention our sponsors enough. These are the good people who, without whom, I beg your pardon, there'd be no parade. I just want to mention Hatco Corporation of Fords, First Savings Bank of Woodbridge, Ford's Jewelers of Fords, Willens Goldman and Spitzer of Woodbridge, Washington Mutual of Avenel, the Rio Diner here in Woodbridge, Royal Albert Palace in Fords, Neves Jewelers in Woodbridge, Carpet Maven in Woodbridge, the Club at Woodbridge, the Woodbridge Metro Chamber of Commerce, and of course Sansone's Route 1 Auto Mall here in Woodbridge. Our congratulations to our generous sponsors, our thanks to our generous sponsors.
We're very fortunate here in Woodbridge to have great corporate citizens. I know they're instrumental in putting together the Mayor's Summer Concert Series, and good programs like that are certainly possible because of their generosity, and we thank them and we appreciate their contribution to our community.
You mentioned the Summer Concert Series. I just closed my eyes and had a vision of a warm July night, kind of the antithesis of what we have now. But
that's true.
Everybody having so much fun today. I mean, it's sunny. It really is a beautiful day if you just ignore the wind.
Our next group is the Colonia District 12 Fire Department. Fire Department founded in 1943. They're an all-volunteer department representing the Colonia section of the community. Mike Mackey is the fire chief, and Frank Jazikoff is the second captain. And again, as we said before, Michael, we're fortunate throughout the community to have dedicated men and women who volunteer their services. You know, it's no fun on a cold, rainy night to get up in the middle of the night and leave your nice warm bed and go off and help your neighbor, but That's what they do, time and time and time again.
Yeah, it takes a special person, and again, our thanks for their dedication. They do it without hesitating for a moment. Also, the Colonia District Number 12 First Aid Squad. While we're talking about dedicated volunteers, this group founded back in 1941, representing, of course, the Colonia section of our community. Kathleen Curran is the captain.
Here's Christmas Cheer from the Island Giants, Pop Warner organization, and one of the 5 Pop Warner organizations we have here in our community.
Wayne Simoneau is the president and football director. Sue Butel, first vice president and cheerleading director. And here's a group that's won a few awards. For example, 2000, they took the East Division football champs in the junior Pee Wee category. 1999 to 2000, Garden State champs, midget cheerleaders. 1997, 98, 99, and 2000, Central Jersey champs, midget cheerleaders. They took the Central Jersey East Division championship, the Pee Wees did, in 2000, and the junior Pee Wee cheerleaders took the Central Jersey East Division in 1998 and 2000.
Established in 1962, the Island Giants are the oldest and most experienced team in the area, affiliated for over 40 years with certified coaches and dedicated staff. They provide a competitive atmosphere for the young people of Woodbridge Township.
I want to mention the Island Giants Pop Warner midget football team with Coach Sam Grasso won the 2002 Division II New Jersey State Championship. Our congratulations to them.
They are joined by the Island Athletic Sports Organization, the league established in 1954. They provide sports leagues consisting of baseball, softball, and boys and girls basketball. Approximately 70 of their members are with us today. Armin Polino is the president, John Lemongelli is the vice president, Will Bertod is the director of girls softball, and Mark Emy is the director of boys basketball.
Here's a group that has a few trophies under its belt. The Mayor's Trophy Tournament in 2001 and 2002 for the 10 and under, 12 and under, 14 and under divisions. 10 and under won the Mayor's Tournament the past 7 years. 10 and 12s are Babe Ruth District Champs, 2001 and 2002. The 10 and under is also Babe Ruth Mid-Atlantic Regional runner-up. 12 and under came in first place in the Sparta Tournament, first out of 22 teams. Boys baseball were the winners of the 9-year-old Roselle Park Tournament. 11-year-old winners of the Elizabeth Tournament, second place in the Mayor's Tournament, and the boys 8 to 13-year-olds were the winners of 13 trophies.
Well, there past we Miss Carmen Flora with an antique car. Carmen's been driving the classic 1966 Ford Mustang convertible for the past 5 years. He's won over 250 trophies. And the Passaic County Sheriff's Department Band were here. Established back in 1820, 10 people in the marching band and playing, and you can hear them in the background now. Here's a float made by the United Methodist Church of Woodbridge, not the United, but the United Methodist Church of Woodbridge. They have a small float on the boat trailer. The Reverend is David Houston.
And here we go at the John F. Kennedy High School homecoming queen in her court. The 2002 homecoming queen is Tracy Parker. Tracy, president of JFK Student Council, the captain of the varsity cheerleaders. She's a member of the National Honor Society, Mustang Network news staff, peer leadership, key club, school newspaper staff, varsity softball, concert choir. After graduation, Tracy plans to attend Princeton University. She's going to major in forensic psychology. So congratulations and welcome to Tracy.
And her court consists of Christy Hardiman. Christy's the president of the National Honor Society, as well as the treasurer of the Key Club, a member of the concert and marching bands, the student advisory committee, the school newspaper, library and magazine, debate team, and she attended Rider University as a past summer as a delegate to the Girls State. Her mom is a member of the Woodbridge Township Board of Education.
And of course, Kayla Queen and Crystal Simoneau joining her. The St. Cecilia's Golden Knights passing by. President Louis Trupa.
It'd be remiss if we didn't say that the JFK homecoming group float was sponsored by Willens Goldman Spitzer and Ford's Jewelers. There's the St. Cecilia Golden Knights.
And they're followed by the Raritan Bay Cruisers Car Club. Antique Domestic Car Club established in 1993, fairly new. Daniel Mattei, club founder and president. Raritan Bay Cruisers have been running weekly cruise nights in Perth Amboy, the Quick Check store, Route 35 in Perth Amboy for the past 4 years. Every Wednesday night starting in May through September from 6 to 9, the cruise night is open to anyone that has any type of classic and antique car. And while the cars are cruising by, let's send it out to our colleague John Eberhard. He's going to talking to Drew Tuttle from the Recreation Department here at Woodbridge Township. John?
Thank you, Mike. Drew, we're out here. Lovely weather we got here today. We're going to wait till this fire engine slows down its siren just a little bit. Or maybe not. We're going to continue. Drew, a special thanks from me to you for all your work getting this parade off and rolling. Everything going well down by the reviewing stand?
Everything's going great. I actually got to drive the Grand Marshal, so that was a big thrill. And
yes, you did.
So it was nice to actually be a part of the parade for 1 year. It was real exciting.
Instead of doing all the bookkeeping
it was nice to actually be a part of the parade. So that was a great experience.
Just so everybody knows, Drew starts on this parade back in September. Again, Drew, you want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas before we get drowned out?
Yep. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you, John.
You know, Drew and John, I don't know if you mentioned, he is the Woodbridge Township Director of Recreation. And John and his staff, including Drew and Sharon and George, do a great job at putting this parade together. As he said, this is a year-long undertaking, and we see the fruits of their labor here today. And it looks simple when everybody's riding down the street, but the work that goes into putting this together is something of considerable portion.
Sights and sounds of the Port Reading Fire Department, established back in September of 1970. We welcome them today.
And they are also joined by the Port Reading Fire Department, loud and proud here this afternoon.
Rescue squad established in October of 1970 at Port Reading. Brian Smalls, the president, Sue Hogan, captain, and Brian Zedzik, assistant captain.
Port Reading Fire Department was established in September of 1970. Some outstanding equipment there. You know, in addition to the parade, the Woodbridge Township Recreation Department sponsors a number of events. As we heard the mayor allude to the menorah lighting and pictures at Santa, but there's also the holiday train display at the Barron Arts Center, and in the event we get some snow, a snow sculpture contest, as well as a home and merchant decorating contest. If anyone is interested in participating in those, I urge you to call the Recreation Department at 732-596-4048, and keep your fingers crossed. You can join your children in doing a snow dance whenever they talk about those storms on the television and radio.
Yeah, I remember doing snow dances when we hear of a school closing.
That's right. We had one going on in the Coughlin house on Wednesday.
That's right.
Tuesday night, I guess it was. One other program note, the Barron Arts Center, as we mentioned before, presents on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock on WTT 35 and art shows from the Barron Arts Center, which include art exhibits, lectures, and concerts. And they do a fine job at that organization, part of the Woodbridge Township community that addresses the need for cultural affairs and events.
As we watch the Island District 11 crew go by,
as the Island First Aid, and one of the members of the Island Volunteer Fire is the 4th Ward Councilman Kevin Wirt. He's marching with the unit today.
Island Hook and Ladder Volunteer Company 11 was established back in 1924 during the Roaring Twenties, and today its fire chief is Joe Rishak. Island were voted the best appearing fire company in the 2001 holiday parade. We can see why. The machines are just immaculate, well kept. You don't appreciate the work that and the beatings often the rigs take in responding to disasters, but they're kept immaculate, they're kept clean, they're kept in tip-top shape, always ready, always at the ready.
And the volunteers take great pride in their equipment, and we're very fortunate for that. I guess it gets loud inside, too.
I imagine it does.
So a bright young fellow wearing some protective ear gear. Certainly the Island Fire Department is well represented here today. Joined by their Ladies Auxiliary, I believe.
This is the time of year when they really get to show their stuff and strut their stuff and show off what they have, and it's often so impressive. Here's the Carteret Fire Department, our neighbor community. Company number 1 in Carteret was established in 1893. Company number 2 established in 1918. So we welcome our neighbors, the town of Carteret. They're fine people who run their fire department.
They are joined by the Carteret First Aid Squad, Lisa Resco, the Vice President, and Raymond Zeddy, the Captain. The First Aid Squad was established on November 19th, in 1934. It's remarkable how long some of these service organizations have been around. I see them time and again from the 30s and the 20s and the 40s, and it really points up the importance and significance of the role they play in our community.
And it shows how the dedication has been passed down through the generations. That's most gratifying, too. I mean, we hear about how difficult it is to get volunteers, which indeed it is, but you see that these, in many cases, the volunteer departments, the ones that are volunteer, are able to maintain their volunteer staff.
And frequently you find generation after generation in the same family.
Same family, sure.
To sons, and now increasingly women becoming active in the emergency services, and they're a welcome addition to that. So you'll have fathers and sons, and hopefully they'll pass it down to their children. We have some more volunteers from Perth Amboy.
Our neighbors to the south.
Welcome them to Woodbridge. Perth Amboy Fire Department was established back in 1881. Carlos Rivera is the first assistant chief, and they've won their share of awards. Second place for Best Appearing Unit in the State Firemen's Convention in Wildwood. First place for Best Appearing Marching Unit, and second place in the Best Appearing Fire Department in the Keyport. And I believe that is the exempt firemen's parade. Second place for the Best Appearing Fire Department in the Color Guard in Cliffwood in 2001. And we are rapidly approaching the appearance of the big guy, Mike.
Well, this is certainly one of the highlights of the parade for myself. Being a fan of Santa for many years and having 3 children, being a particular fan of Santa.
And there he is, just coming into our screen, none other than Santa Claus on the float, proudly sponsored by Sansone's Route 1 Auto Mall.
Let's go now to our man on the street, recreation director and colleague, John Eberhard. John?
Thank you, Mike. With me is a few well-wishers here for the parade. And on the count of 3, we're going to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and wave to the camera.
Merry Christmas,
2,
everybody!
3. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, everyone! Merry Christmas. Sorry, John.
And speaking of,
There he is, in all his grandeur, Santa Claus. And the holiday season is now in full swing. Hanukkah underway, Santa Claus arriving.
such a fun time of year, but a time of year that goes so fast. This
really
time of year,
does.
you hustle and you bustle and you rush, and it's so important to just try to sit back, relax, and take in the atmosphere and the spirit if you can, because it really is just a wonderful time of year.
More of our costumed characters. And some happy youngsters.
Meeting their hero Blue of Blue's Clues fame.
Santa with his favorite elf in the front there, Dan Basil. Santa of good voice today. And that is so true, Mike. We raised some things. Our Irene Allen from the Office on Aging as well. And you know, the time flies by. And we just take the time, I'm sure we'll enjoy it a little bit more.
Well, I can't say Santa doesn't have good help with him this year. His 3 elves joining him on the float.
Followed by Woodbridge's finest.
Our police department, William Trenery, our chief, Phil DiNicola, deputy chief, the people who protect us in service.
Well, Michael, it's been a great parade, and I thank you for joining me this year. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Well, Craig, I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. My thanks to Channels 35 and 36 for letting me be a part of the 42nd Annual Holiday Parade right here in Woodbridge Township.
And now our colleague John Eberhardt. John, all the best. Great job as always. Now you can come on in, have a cup of coffee, and get warmed up. The people of Woodbridge, enjoy the holiday season. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa. We look forward to seeing you all around. I ask you to tune in and watch this parade and the other fine shows on Channel 35 and 36. And thanks for watching. Thanks, Mike, for being with us again. And have a happy and wonderful holiday season, everybody.
Thank you, Craig. Same to you. Take care, everybody.